Hello and welcome. It is the 22nd annual Garden State Film Festival. 200 films from over 14 countries, all happening March 21st to the 24th this year. I am your host, Emily DeSimone, and I am here with director, writer, producer, editor, videographer, my goodness, what a mouthful, and the narrator, Gabriella Vallejo, joined by her TV and film teacher, Tamara Dombrowski, of the film Theater Through the Eyes of Performers. Hello, Gabriella and Tamara.
Hello.
Today
Hello, nice to meet
Good.
you.
How are you?
I'm doing great. So please give our live viewers a tidbit about your film.
Hi. First off, I'm Gabriela Vallejo. Again, how she said before, I'm the director, editor, producer, narrator, and cinematographer of my short documentary, Theater Through the Eyes of Performers. Basically, this documentary touches base upon the theater department, specifically at my high school, Roselle Park High School, and how it has affected people on a more intimate level um, before and after. And yeah, it's just like how it affects others in our school.
Hey, I mean, look, I did quite a bit of musical theater myself in high school, so I completely understand where you're coming from with that. So, Gabriella, please introduce Tamara. Tamara, I'd love to hear your relationship with Gabriella with our audience.
Well, hi, everybody. I'm proud to be Gabby's teacher of film and television at Roselle Park High School. I am also blessed to be her choreographer for the high school musical, and that's how we met. She got into my television class last year, and she just took off and ran with it. She's a true artist. She has an eye for this type of field, and I'm super proud of her and how everything she's accomplished these past couple of years in theater as well as in television.
Gabriella, please tell our live audience a bit about what you've been doing with some film, television, theater to our audience while in
All
school.
right. Perfect. Basically, it all started with my broadcasting class with Miss Dombrowski. I honestly wouldn't have gone into like film or like broadcasting or anything if I hadn't joined RBTV, which is our broadcasting class. And I have beginning of high school, I did also musical. That was the first time I ever did it, and so since then, it's had a big impact on me and my life as an artist. So yeah, that's a little bit that I've touched upon with theater and film and broadcasting, and I plan on doing so much more in the future.
So, is this your first time really, I guess, submitting to a film festival? By the way, congratulations on being
Thank you
accepted to
so much.
the Garden State Film Festival. But yes, is this your first time submitting?
Oh yeah, it is my first time. It was honestly really nerve-wracking. I wasn't sure what the whole process was or like what I was supposed to do. I read the thing of what we were supposed to do, a short documentary, and I was like, okay, theater. This was something that it was personal to me and I was passionate about. So submitting it, I wasn't really expecting much, like a screening even. Like that's amazing. I'm really proud of myself for doing this. And yeah, no, this is like my first time. I'm not sure how to react.
Hey, I mean, you know what? It's a fantastic accomplishment, achievement to not only, put your energy into a work and take that extra step to just go into a film festival, but you've been accepted. And, we're not this like tiny little film festival. So that's, I mean, congratulations. I mean, for
Thank
my
you.
it's crazy. So, you know, um, talk about where you're at with school right now and what you expect, your audience or want your audience to pull from your film.
Right. So I'm a junior in high school right now. I'm in the middle of my semester, and basically I want the audience to, especially people who haven't done theater, I want them to see what it means to people on stage, basically through the eyes of performers, of what it means to us and how it's impacted us, and especially because more specifically because it's from Rosa Parks High School Theater Department. Like we have my director, Doug Panetta, who was interviewed for my documentary. He his first musical that he watched was at the Rosa Park High School. And it's impacted a lot. He's come back and now he's teaching us, and it's like I just really want people to grasp how much of an importance this art is to so many of us, but specifically us here in Roselle Park.
Thank you. I mean, I think, it really will come across. And Tamara, tell me a bit on your end of, what it was like, meeting Gabby, working with Gabby so far, where you see things going for her.
Well, as you see, the sky's the limit with her right now because here she comes in. I met her as a freshman a couple years ago when we did a musical together. We did Willy Wonka together, and she was Willy Wonka, Charlie Buckets. She was Mrs. Buckets' mother. And then from there, we got talking about theater and her passion. She was also a visual artist too. She's a beautiful artist as well. And from there, last year, we got even closer when she joined my television class. She is one of my live hosts every day in our news broadcasting class, as well as one of my editors and cinematographers behind the scenes. So she can do it all. And we just kept pushing. And this year, she expressed interest in going to college with this because we had a graduate last year who's excelling from our program in college, and we started talking about future ideas. So when I saw the flyer and the advertisement from you guys, from my email from the Garden State Film Festival, I knew exactly who to ask to enter this. And here she is. She's been accepted, and I couldn't be prouder. I'm one of her biggest fans, but second to her family, but I am one of her biggest supporters, and I know she's got a good future in this. She's got that eye that you just can't teach. She just has that eye. So I'm proud of
And
her.
you know what, though, as coming from someone that has a good relationship with her TV editing film teacher from high school, this is a relationship that will last you a very long time. It's a close one that you're going to hold dear to your heart. So, Gabriella, can you tell our audience maybe a little bit of what your filming process was like? What was your favorite part of making this, and maybe what was a challenging part of making this?
So, filming this was actually it was really fun. It was probably the most committed I've been to a project. Like, sometimes you'll write stuff up, but it'll just stay in like the ideas bin. But this is the one that actually got out, and it was a fun process. My favorite part of the entire thing was definitely the interviews and experimenting with different angles. But the interviews, because I got just a glimpse of like into my friends' minds about like how much this has impacted them as an art, and then going back to the angles, like I was trying new things, like the different angles. Like there's this one part where she is on stage and they're applauding to her. Alison Lantigua, who was on stage, she was also interviewed. She was on stage, and I tried these different angles from the side, from the front, from on top. We have a drone for our class, and I use that for our stage part, where it's flying across. And it was really cool. That those two were my favorite parts, and probably the hardest part was the time, because it was close to like winter break. I had a family vacation I had to go to, and so I did this 2 weeks. The pre-production was easy to fly by, because this is already an idea I had, but then producing it was, I was on a time crunch, especially that editing. Sometimes there were times where I didn't know if I liked how it looked, so I restarted and I went back. And then once I finally got what I wanted, how I wanted it to look, it was really rewarding. I really enjoyed it, and I hope to do so much more like this again in the future.
Well, that's awesome. So, would you say that in the time that you've been spending, in front of the screen at school, the time that you've spent, in Miss Dombrowski's class, what is something that you are learning? Maybe a challenge. It may have been a challenge to you, but that you think is going to make you a stronger filmmaker moving forward.
Definitely the discipline. The discipline, being on top of it and continuing and committing to it. At first, that was one of my big issues, beginning with like small interviews and stuff for our class. But with this, I've definitely learned so much more on like continuing something because I'm passionate about it and this is what I want to do. So that was definitely something I've learned, and I'm still learning, and I will always still be learning. But it's something I'm glad to be going with.
Do you have maybe any future plans with this film?
For this film, maybe I'm not sure. I'm gonna be honest. Maybe like submitting it to colleges, like portfolios and stuff, or maybe submitting it to more film festivals. I'm
Mhm.
actually working on more stuff right now. Because I want to submit different things to festivals. Sorry, I just did this like short little experimental video on snow. When it was snowing last week on Tuesday, it was really calm. It was really nice, and I had just found a tripod in my mom's room, so I went and I grabbed it and I used my phone and I just recorded all these like different angles, and it was so fun. And so I want to do so much more with these things, and I'm really excited. That's where I plan. There's not much with this film. This was more like a first time thing, and but I'm definitely going to use it, go back and use it as like a reference or an example or and for my future stuff.
That's fantastic. It's so exciting to, hear you talking about having more stuff in the works, perhaps using this
Mhm.
as something you're going to submit for college. What else, have you had as an idea that you've put forth or are thinking of putting forth moving forward?
All right. So I'm turning 17 soon, and I know it's not that big of a number. It's in between that age, whatever. But me personally, it's been hitting a little hard, growing up and whatnot. So right now I'm working on this little thing that I want to submit more based around like how it feels to grow up. It's a little sad. It's bittersweet, happy, sad, but that's something I want to put into a film. I told myself one day I was like, sorry, I don't mean to get emotional, but I was like crying a little because my birthday's soon, and I was like, no, Gabby, you gotta stop crying. I was like, I can put my feelings into a film instead of crying about it and doing nothing about it. And maybe this will help me cope and express myself better. So that's something I'm working on right now. It's in the pre-production right now. Like I'm writing it up. I'm looking at these references. I'm storyboarding. I'm doing all these things behind the scenes right now. And I think I want to start somewhat like next week or this like end of the week recording because it's something I want to get done soon.
Hey, you know what? Turning 17, is that you're going to be 17, you said?
Yep.
17, that's a big year. So, happy birthday. And you know what? This is exciting. It's such an exciting time in your life. When is your
Mhm.
birthday? That's coming up.
February 14th, Valentine's
Oh,
Day.
Valentine's Day. That's awesome. Well,
Mhm.
thank you so much for joining me, you guys. You can check out
Thank you
theaters
for having us.
Yes.
performers. You're welcome at the Kingsley Ballroom at the Berkeley Hotel on Saturday, March 23rd during the 9:15 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. block. Gabriella, Tamara, I hope to see you at the Garden State Film Festival this year, where there are 200 films screening across 8 venues, including hosting parties, panels, events, and more. Guys, get your tickets at gsff.org/tickets. I'm your host, Emily DeSimone. Gabriella, Tamara, it has been such a pleasure, and I cannot wait. Bye, guys.
See you soon. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye. Thank you.